Hey, welcome to video number 205 of Walker This Way with Hazel Walker, the queen of all things.
BNI and networking, but not turkeys.
Not the queen of turkeys. Well, you watch over turkeys sometimes.
There are times I am in conversation with turkeys.
There are, like
And,
now. Like now. Thank you. And speaking of turkeys, I am Mark Simmons. That's a beautiful segue. We didn't even plan that.
I know, but you know,
Yeah, who would have known?
it's a holiday and turkeys are always the featured food.
It is. It is Thanksgiving week in the United States of America.
You know, it is a big deal here.
Yes. So, hey, speaking of big deals, here's another big deal. We're working on the BNI policies, and we've done the first 7. And
Yep.
now today we're on policy number 8. And you know what I love about policy number 8 is me being the challenged member that I am now the challenged new member, brand new member of BNI. I was inducted 2 weeks ago, and I'm really excited because next week I am doing my weekly presentation. And what's even better is that you have this thing called the Member Success something, MSP, Member Success Program. But, you know, it's a nice suggestion. However, it's cool. I'm doing my presentation next week. So looking forward. I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm looking forward to it.
Good luck with that.
Okay, what does that mean? Good luck. I'm
Well,
gonna nail it.
did you complete the member success program online?
I saw it.
Yeah, that wasn't my question. Did you do it?
I completed looking at it. I haven't done any of the work in it.
Well, part of the work in there is how to do a great feature presentation. Because look, the whole purpose of the member success program,
Mhm.
the reason we have the member success program, let me just say the reason we have that particular policy as a whole, because it says new members who have finished the member success program and or director consultants.
Just reading that now, that is exactly what it says. Yeah.
Okay, well, we have that. There's 2 reasons we have that. We have that you should complete the member success program prior to being scheduled for the opportunity to stand in front of the room and speak. Now, the reason we want our new members to finish that program first is because we actually do training on it. There's a whole concept of worksheets and conversation around how to do a really good first presentation so that you get the most out of it. Because when you do your feature presentation, that's actually should start ticking up your referrals, right? So what we want you to do is have some relationships, because if you come to Indiana, our standard is, and BC, our standard is you need to finish the passport program.
Right.
As well as member success, because we want you to have the time to build a network of people who are there to support you and cheer you on. And also for you to get comfortable in front of the room, to get comfortable with the members, and to then use the things that we teach you on how to formulate that presentation. Because in my humble opinion, the most wasted time in BNI is often the feature presentation. Because people want to stand up and tell me how they clean carpets, how they paint walls, how they do investments, bull market and bear market and up market and down market and all of that, 10-year bonds and stuff. And I'm like, if I wanted to know all of that stuff, I would have gone and learned all of it and I could do all of it for myself. I don't want to know it because I don't want to do it.
Right.
Right. So we want to help you do a presentation that's going to get you some results. It's going to build your credibility, and it's going to start to generate referrals for you. And if you just stand up there and you blow it, well, you lost an opportunity. And especially if you're in a group with 40, 50, 60 members, right? If you're in a group with more than 50 members or even 40, the opportunity is only going to come along once, maybe twice in a year.
Right.
Right. So we really, really, really want you hone your skills before you do the presentation. Now, every now and then, a Toastmaster will walk into BNI and they'll nail it, they think. But what they don't understand is that presentation is also about credibility. It's about helping me understand how to refer you, who to refer you to, and what you're really looking for as far as a referral goes. Is not for you just to tell me what the trends are in your business and what's going on. So we want you to do the member success program for your best interest. Now it says director consultants and directors can also speak at the chapter.
Right.
That's in there because we don't let outside speakers speak within the chapter.
It's an important point because we've come across that a few times where even I've been to shown up at a chapter meeting and they had some past member from 3 years ago coming and doing a presentation on their own workshop.
Right, right. So again, let me go back to a conversation we had before. If our membership is so valuable, if you're getting such great results out of it and you're paying for it and you're learning about it and you're working it, why are we giving it away to people for free?
Yeah.
Why are we doing that? There's no good reason for that, right? Because they're not members of BNI and they didn't bother to stay in BNI and now they're in your chapter promoting their business, which is not fair to all of the rest of the members.
Yeah. And side note on that particular chapter, to their success, they ended up retiring as a chapter because they couldn't make it work because that was their culture.
That right.
The
Their
club, social
culture.
club.
Yeah, to do whatever they wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
Because they didn't understand the value of their membership.
Right.
And that's why that piece is on there. It should be a director, an ambassador, director, executive director. One of us can come in and do a presentation anytime you want, any kind of workshop, whatever it is you want, just book us and we'll come. It doesn't have to just be for visitor days.
Right.
And then the other one is, we really want our new members to be educated before we throw them to the lion's den. They have no relationships. And because they don't have relationships, if they do something and they feel embarrassed, they won't come back because they embarrassed themselves in front of the group. They didn't do something well. They maybe misspoke or gave some wrong, something, because we all do.
Right.
At one time or another. And then they feel self-conscious and then they don't come back, or they feel self-conscious and they don't show up.
Yeah.
And so give our new members at least the first 90 days or the first 60 days to get to know the chapter before you throw them up into the front of the room.
Yeah. So
that's why it's there.
Two things come to mind. Number one, in the passport, there is a checkbox where I have completed the member success program. That's part of actually completing the passport is the 10 member mentors and the member success program, the MSP. That's still part of the completion of the 90 days of passport. So it's in there. And so an analogy, and I know I get in trouble for this a lot when I talk about, well, if you wouldn't do it in business, in your own business, don't do it in BNI, because when chapters run a business, so I'm not saying we're employees of BNI. However, the question I ask is then, would you ever hire an employee, hire somebody into your company and say, here's your desk, good luck, see ya, and then walk away?
Right.
Train them. They have a period of time where they're onboarding, right?
There's a whole onboarding system. Our onboarding system is, here's an online program for you to take. Here's one-to-ones you're going to have and get to know. And here, there's an onboarding process. Instead, you're just throwing them right in the fire.
Yeah.
Which is not very fair to your brand new members.
Right.
So that is, I think, an important policy. And it is incumbent upon the membership committee and the secretary treasurer who schedules the speakers to heed that.
Absolutely. So that involves communication, of course, with your mentor coordinator and your vice president to ensure that those members have completed the member success program, then get them on the schedule.
Yeah.
Then it's okay.
Or put them on the schedule 6 weeks out and say, you've got 6 weeks to complete, and I'm going to check at 4 weeks to make sure you're complete so we can keep you on the schedule in 6.
Yeah. And just side note on feature presentations, we've talked about this in a few Walk of This Ways. Occasionally in your chapter, the feature presentation spot, the secretary treasurer will say, hey, next week, the feature presenter has canceled, is going to be away, or they canceled, that you'll walk in the
Last
meeting
minute.
that day. And then say, be the one to put up your hand and go, oh, I'll do it. Like, don't give up an opportunity to market your business, providing you complete a member success program. Take the opportunities, no matter how often you get to do it.
Do you know how many times I've walked into chapters, and this is old school.
Yeah.
We used to carry around 3x5 cards. We call them hip pocket presentations. And we would have these little 3x5 cards where we had information written on it. If we walked into a chapter, and it happened often. Oh, our speaker didn't show up today. Could you be our speaker today? And you would need to come up with a workshop right away that you could
Yeah.
give the chapter. We called them hip pocket presentations.
Right. And that's a great reason, if you happen to have a regional support team member, an executive director, a consultant, whoever from the support team at your meeting the day where there isn't someone, they will gladly step up, because that's what we're educated on how to do, is how to do a presentation
Right.
when asked.
When asked,
Yeah.
we're there to support you.
That's it. All right, so the policies, and there's only 11, and we're working our way through them, are there for a reason. There's only 11 policies. If your chapter comes and says, we have 15 policies, they've made up a few of them. They're not real. The only ones that matter are the 11. The others are maybe chapter standards, which we'll talk about in another video. So that's policy number 8. Get your MSP done, new members, and then you can do your feature presentations. Next video is number 9. What is it? We'll let you know next week. Till next time, Hazel Walker.
See you then.
Bye-bye.